Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
Let's do Coutinho. Signs a new contract. Thankful for that. And it was a nice time, not that they done it on deadline day so that no one noticed that they weren't buying anyone. But then he scores that goal, he runs the game. Let's do the contract bit first and then we'll do the goal. Great. I mean, worst case scenario is that it protects his value when he's worth £30 million rather than £10 million. But it's just nice, a bit of feel-good news, isn't it, really? The fact that a young lad's committed himself and basically going to be a Liverpool player for the foreseeable future, hopefully.
Well, at the minute, he's special, isn't he? I mean, it's as simple as that. You can't get the ball off him. Even in like the original Chelsea game where we got beat 2-1 in the league, first half they couldn't get the ball off him, and there's like serious defenders, some of the best in the world, and he's just skipping past them and like looking to where he's going to play it. And he's got that killer ball as well. From when he's came in, you've seen it in games like time and time again. He just spots where it is. The weight of it's almost perfect as well. It seems to just like stop right where the guy wants to hit it and everything. So like, and he can dictate games, so he's getting better. The only thing is, sometimes he does have these little blips in form, so it's all or nothing with him. If he's not like creating goals and like absolutely running the game, then what's he doing when he does have those little sort of off games?
I'm just hoping it's been a long while, man. I mean, we always say he does look like an up and down type player. So hopefully this isn't that again. Hopefully this is him he's found a position and a style and a team and people around him where he can look great. He's got a lad up front moving for a start. I think that helps him. Yeah, someone making runs and stuff in Sterling and now Sturridge. But it's his whole game is just like he's dropping deep, and that's it. He does it to everyone. Ball turn gone, and he's making good players look like bad players, and he's making bad players look like Sunday League players. That's what he's doing at the minute. And it's interesting that every team now must be scouting Liverpool, thinking, right, okay, here's how we stop Liverpool. Kick the shit out of Raheem Sterling because everyone's been doing it, and try and stop Coutinho. No one's even getting near him. No. Like, at times they can't even foul him because he's away before they even try to kick him.
So stay when Sturridge is fit. Are we literally talking him up top and those two in free rolls behind him?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so at the minute, yeah.
So how do you stop all three of them at the same time?
Don't. Hopefully you don't. But and I just think on this thing he's got where he's dropping to the centre circle, getting the ball, and the way he's just gliding, his half turns are unbelievable where he's skipping away from players. Or when he's got that thing when he stands you still and he does a little drag flick thing, doesn't he? And he's making beating players look easy. He looks like he could run around the whole team.
Yeah, he's got that thing. He's got that 5 yard burst, hasn't he? You know, and he can go past any player because he's got that burst.
But he's got the burst stop go again, and he's got that.
That's what I'm saying. He's got acceleration. He's got that burst of acceleration.
He stands you and goes.
You know, he hasn't got great 30-40 yard pace. You know, he's not going to run away from players, but he's got that base to get past anyone, and no one's going to keep with him in you know the phone box thing, innit? The ball's at his feet, and he's not asked about you trying to take the ball off him. He's just looking like, I'm going past you. You're going to try and stop me. It's not happening.
I like the way and even when he's running horizontally across the pitch, or sometimes he'll get it on the left where he tends to drag out, and he'll try and go across, and he does that thing where he goes and he stops, so the defender slows down, and then he goes again. So, because like I say, he knows he hasn't got blistering pace. He's quick enough, but he's great at. He's that good with the ball at his feet that he'll stop you, and then he'll.
He reminds me of a lot of the Barcelona guys. Obviously, he's a different sort of player, but they're like the smaller with the low centre of gravity and the agile as well. So, like when you talk about the likes of Xavi and Iniesta, you'll try and get the ball off them and they just like move a different way, and like you can't really catch up with them. And that's it. And as he's running across, he's just opening the game up. He's looking for runners all the time. He's looking for runners, and if he hasn't got runners, then he'll take you on, and he'll look to shoot or sometimes go right through. You've seen him have a few goes at like dribbling right through the defence. He wants to score a worldie. You can tell.
He nearly done yesterday. I think he got to Wheater, didn't he? And fair play to Wheater, made a good challenge. But so let's do it. We've always been critical, I think, of sometimes his finishing, and there was times again yesterday where he wasn't hitting the target from the edge of the box. He was dragging it wide, or he was placing it, smashing it wide, and it just frustrates me sometimes because again, he looks like a lad who's going to score 5 or 6 rather than 10, 15. But then with the derby coming up, cup game, no one wants extra time. Steve Gerrard's thinking, I want to play on Saturday. I can't do it. Don't play me an extra time. He comes up with, and people are saying tough deflection. It doesn't matter. I can tell you now, there could be 6 goalies in and 5. They weren't stopping that. It was genuinely, again, he does the thing, stops, turns inside, curls it, and it doesn't even have to be in the centre. It wasn't even the top bin. It was just the way it dips. It was just fantastic.
It's just a great stack of the ball, you know. And I don't know whether the picture showed you. The keeper was flat on his back.
Yeah, he didn't have a clue.
He did what Mignolet did at Sunderland when that Johnson hit. He just sort of fell backwards. He could see the ball going over him, and he had nothing to to actually get at it. He couldn't deal with it. And if he can add that to his game, then...
It's a thing though, isn't it? Because people always talk about a similar player, David Silva, stylistically, and they say that he's more the finished article now, and you find that more consistency. But he still doesn't score a great many goals, does he? Really?
Yeah, but he's in a team that scores more goals. I suppose that's
of course. But what I'm saying is, it's not everybody's game. Sometimes you can be the person.
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't think he needs to score. He just needs to score bags and bags of goals. I think he just needs them to chip in with like say, with maybe 10. I think if someone said 10 goals from Coutinho, 10 assists, you'd think sound.
He's got to get 10 to 15 in all competitions.
You'd hope so. But and he can. He's good enough.
Yeah,
he's definitely good. I just think, and again, funny enough, I was on Twitter today, and Phil Neville makes a comment on commentary, and I don't know. I must admit, at the time, I don't know why I was even bothering paying attention to what he was saying.
Couldn't you find the mute button?
Oh, honestly, well, I had them on because the baby was crying. I thought so I need something to bore the kid to sleep, so Phil Neville's voice might work. But he's done what he says. He compared. We said, well, you know, the number 10s. Like I think he said, like he's becoming more of a Juan Mata, David Silva type. You know, that type of player. And a few people of other teams are thinking, hang on, he doesn't score enough goals. He doesn't do this. I saw people saying, you know, he's only scored 3 goals. Blah blah blah. But he's becoming like a top class number 10. And again, I don't think that's what him at the minute. And those two are great players, and people might kill me for saying this, and fair enough. I think David Silva. I love David Silva. But Coutinho's our player, and I've got a fondness and attachment to him, and I could watch him play all day. And I just think at the minute, I'd quite happily keep him. I wouldn't swap him. What's the point? I love him. He's
22.
Yeah,
he's 20. And people forget this: the fact that he's not 23 till the summer. The season Gerrard spent at 22, he was still wearing number 17. That's how long ago it was. That's how young Gerrard was. This lad's got, as we said before, this lad's got so many levels that he can go, and he's like the rest of them. He's getting incrementally better each 6 months, each 4 months, whatever it is. He's just getting that little bit better. And even when he has, like Sterling now, we were saying before, when Sterling has a 6 as an average game, instead of being a 4 or 5, it's now a 6 or a 7. And Sterling's getting that. Coutinho's getting that. And then when he's having his best games, instead of having a 7 or 8, he's now getting a 9 or 10.
It goes back to the FSG blueprint, doesn't it? The original one when they came in and they were talking about how they were going to try to buy young players with like sell-on things. So we've got a really young squad. So we're trying to compete with the likes of City and Chelsea, and they've got like the finished articles where they're bringing in Fabregas for 30 million, and we're saying, well, ours quite there yet. Well, you do forget that that's because ours aren't supposed to be there yet. Ours are works in progress.
Yeah, well, we've gone. We can't compete with you financially. People might want them. I'd love us to be able to do what they do, but I don't think we can financially. So we've gone, right, we'll have to take the odd gamble and try and develop footballers to play. And he's the proof. He's the perfect blueprint that you can do it. You'll get failures along the way, and you'll get shite. Basically, some of them will fail. It'll just the way it happens. Sometimes it goes that way. But he is genuinely now. I think Brendan said he will be world class soon. I think he's playing at a world class level now. It's just whether you can you maintain it. He's, like Brendan said, he reminds me a bit of Suarez when he come. You could tell he was great, and he'd have the flash, and he'd have the moment where you think, oh my god, he's class. But then he might drop off a little bit. It's the case of now he can develop his game, that he can do it for 15, 20 games on the run. He's another lad who's worth millions and millions, and you wouldn't be surprised if a Spanish, everyone, you'd always say Madrid or Barca, come in and go 50 million quid, because he's brilliant.
Suarez went, what was just 4 goals in his first 13 league games. It was that final third, wasn't it? It was that end product, which, as we're saying now, Coutinho lacks. Not that I'm comparing the two of them, but it's that's one of the last things that develops. It's with a lot of players. Michael Owen may be the exception that had that and didn't have the rest. And the likes of Sterling, again, I know I'm comparing the two quite often here, but that's what the two of them are. The two of them offer so much until that last bit, and that's why Sturridge is obviously that important with them.
Look at Ronaldo, dare I say, you know what I mean? The guy's like a demigod in terms of what he can do. I remember when he first came in, he was all sizzle and no steak, you know what I mean? There was a lot of flash, a lot of step overs, but you know, that was the thing. Where's the end product? Is he too flashy and not effective enough? Now all of a sudden he scores like 30, 40 goals a season, and it's crazy, and he's in his pump.
I just think with Coutinho, I mean, he's always going to. I think we found the position that suits him now. I think he can. I think he likes playing left, and I think he can do well in there. But I think from the middle where he is now, he can run games because he can. Who picks him up? Because you can play your defensive midfielder, but then when he drops down deep to get the ball off Steven Gerrard's feet or off Lucas's feet or whatever, it's the defensive midfielder meant to run 40 yards with him. And if you do, there's Raheem Sterling in the hole. So I don't know in this position now who's going to be able to pick him up, and it just looks like he's thinking, you know what, I can just run this game. Ball to feet, please. Don't care if there's 5 lads on me. I'll take it. I'll beat them.
Yeah.
And then I'll play that ball. It might not always work, and it doesn't always work. And sometimes you think, you see the ball and you see what he's thinking, it doesn't work off, and you think he's going to get you. One of these is one of them is going to get through, and you can tell. Sometimes when a lad gives the ball away, everyone's like, oh, for fuck's sake. With him, you're thinking, he's going to get his. Honestly, he's going to get his.
Every time he gives the ball away, he seems to think everyone's on his wavelength. It always seems to be ahead of the person. It's never behind them. It's always, you know, it's looking at the players like saying, why were you on your heels there? Obviously, I'm playing it in front of you. You're supposed to run onto it. And that's every time. It's always, I've it's a bit too hard, or you know, I've put it too much ahead of you. You weren't on my wavelength.
Yeah, and Dan Sturridge, I think, and he admitted himself, and it was the goal against West Ham showed, those two have that.
Yeah.
You can tell that they've got that connection type thing where I think Coutinho and Suarez had it a little bit, but I think Coutinho and Sturridge, it looks like they just look like they're made to play with each other. Yeah. I'll make this run, Sturridge will pull out wide, and then Coutinho's driving forward, and then the defender's thinking, do I try and tackle him, or do I let him try and, or do I block the pass? I don't know what I'm doing. Usually Coutinho will play the perfect ball, and Sturridge knows where it's going to be, and we score goals from it.
And that's long term. If we go back to a back four and all that, and you can have Coutinho sitting in front of 2 midfielders, whether it's Lucas Henderson or whoever it is, just 2 industrious type of midfield. You have him sitting there, you go Stale on one side, Sturridge through the middle, and someone else,
or Lana or a Markovic,
yeah, something like that on the other side. He's just going to pick teams apart, especially got the fullbacks pushing on as well.
I love it.
It's just.
Oh, you've got me dreaming of a league title in a couple of years' time. Or again, you've got me dreaming of Champions League quadruples. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. So I think we'll park the Coutinho love in there. I think we lasted more than a minute. So, oh my God. So it makes a change.